and a very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Access Development Services and HSBC India, I have the privilege in welcoming you all to the presentation ceremony of the Inclusive Finance India Awards 2022. We're grateful and excited to have all of you join us for this very important celebration. We're very thrilled to present the 14th Inclusive Finance India Awards this evening. We're glad that across the 14 years, the Inclusive Finance India Awards have become well established in the financial inclusion space and are coveted among stakeholders. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we'll now begin with the presentation ceremony of the 14th Inclusive Finance India Awards. First, I'd like to invite the guests for today's ceremony onto the stage. And for that, let's warmly welcome with a round of applause, Ms. Radhika Agashi, Executive Director, Access Development Services, Mr. Hitendra Dave, CEO of HSBC India, and ladies and gentlemen, let's invite our distinguished chief guest, Shri Mr. Anantha Nageshwaran, Chief Economic Advisor, Government of India. Kindly be seated on the stage, please. The award ceremony has been called to order. May I request the exit doors to be closed, please? Thank you. And I now invite Jafreen to kindly do the honors of presenting floral bouquets to our distinguished guests on stage. I request you to kindly present a floral bouquet to our Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Mr. Anantha Nageshwaran, Chief Economic Advisor, Government of India. Very warm welcome, please. And I request you to kindly present a floral bouquet to Mr. Hitendra Dave, CEO of HSBC India. A very warm welcome. Thank you, Jafreen, for doing the honors. To begin the proceedings, I now have the pleasure in inviting Radhika Agashi, Executive Director of Access Development Services, to provide us with a brief introduction to the awards, please.
Respected guests on the dais, Mr. Anantha Nageshwaran, Mr. Dave, and the wonderful audience here. Once again, on behalf of Access and HSBC, it's my privilege to welcome you all to the presentation ceremony of the 14th Inclusive Finance India Awards. Since inception, the awards presentation has been hosted alongside the two-day Inclusive Finance India Summit, except for, of course, the last 2 years where we were doing the summit virtually, and the awards ceremony was a relatively small invite-based event. However, we are really happy to be back with this much larger, wonderful audience. The Inclusive Finance India Awards is an initiative instituted by Access in partnership with HSBC in 2009. The awards provide a way for recognizing efforts and performance of various institutions and some individuals that have contributed to financial inclusion over past several decades. Moving from recognizing the excellent work of MFIs, which was the first award category we included in 2009, to felicitating several diverse institutions that include public sector banks, private sector banks, small finance banks, housing finance companies, NBFCs, fintechs. The awards now cover a range of institutions and actors that help advance financial inclusion in India. The prestige of the awards is also enhanced by the layers of scrutiny and screening which the nominations are subjected to. I would like to put in place our huge gratitude to various technical committee members who have helped us shortlist nominations for consideration of the grand jury, which have evaluated the top 3 nominations and given us the winners that will be announced today. I would also like to say a big thank you to senior dignitaries that were part of the grand jury this year. Mr. Hitendra Dave, CEO of HSBC India, Chair. Mr. N.S. Vishwanathan, former Deputy Governor of Reserve Bank of India, is the co-chair, with Mr. S. Raman, SIDBI Chairman, Mr. Rohit Kumar Sahni, MD of India Rating, Mr. Tamal Bandyopadhyay, Consulting Editor, Business Standard, Mr. Sanjeev Chadha, Managing Director and CEO of Bank of Baroda, Mr. C.S. Shetty, Managing Director, State Bank of India, Ms. Neena Wankar, Founder and Board of Directors, Swadhar Finaxis, Mr. Sanjeet Dawar, MD of CRIF Highmark, Maya Vengadlekar, Chief Operating Officer of CRISIL Foundation, and Mr. Nanaya, MD of Equifax. We are really grateful for all the support and the deep engagement that the jury showed in looking at the nominations and deciding the final winners. We are grateful to HSBC for their steadfast support to the awards, which is a small effort of access to recognize big contributions of a large number of institutions. I would also like to thank Water.org and FWWB, the technical partners for 2 categories in soliciting nominations and providing their technical guidance. The awards today will be presented to 13 winners, the highest number in the last 14 years in a year. So without further ado, I think we should get on with the business of the next of the proceedings. And I would like to hand the podium back to Kaveri. Thank you once again for joining us, all of you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Radhika, for a wonderful welcome. And now I have the privilege in inviting Mr. Hitendra Dave, CEO of HSBC India, to kindly deliver his opening address to the distinguished audience, please.
Thank you, Chief Economic Advisor. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, good afternoon to all of you. I hope this has been a day full of rich discussions on a very important topic. As Radhika mentioned, this is the 19th summit, the 14th awards. I think that tells you a little bit. If it was not being done with the degree of seriousness the subject deserves, we would not be here in the 14th award session. You would not be there in the audience. We would not be there on the stage. And I think it's important to call out why these awards are important. I think it is on financial inclusion. I think we spoke in the morning that whichever way you look at it, financial inclusion is almost a necessary precondition for India to achieve its objective of achieving the intermediate goal of $5 trillion economy, the longer term goal of becoming a developed economy by the time we turn 100 years of independent India. And I think almost everyone agrees, whether they're experts in the line, whether they're economists like our chief guest, or whether they are just normal people, that unless the bottom of the pyramid grows, their per capita income grows at a faster pace than the per capita income of the country, which needs to grow at a faster pace than the GDP of the country, we will not achieve the ambition, the dream, the aspiration, the dream that all of us have, which has been articulated extremely loudly and clearly by the Honorable Prime Minister. I think just Radhika mentioned again about the awards for this particular year, but I would like to once again highlight to all of you the seniority, the pedigree, the experience, and the reputation of some of the jury members. We have Mr. Vishwanathan, Deputy Governor, our Reserve Bank of India, who chaired the meeting, and quite honestly, with very clear views on what is right, what is wrong, where he wants to put the stamp of the jury on, what he wants to back, what he does not want to back himself. So, sir, thank you once again for agreeing to chair the jury panel. We had the MD of State Bank of India, the CEO of Bank of Baroda, the Chairman and Managing Director of SIDBI. Again, these people were there in the room, in person, allocating 3-4 hours. I'm sharing this with you so that you understand that this is not one of those typical awards which are just given because you're a sponsor or you're part of an association or something like that. There is serious discussion which took place. We have experts from the rating agencies, experts from credit bureaus, and many other people who are generally have spent their lifetime trying to improve the subject of financial inclusion. I think financial inclusion clearly, I think, started with banks, understood to be banks just opening bank accounts as this number one journey. And as what we heard in the morning, it is the first step, but it's the most important step. And thereafter comes other steps, whether it's credit inclusion, awareness, financial literacy. I think banks started it, and therefore the initial lot of awards were to banks. As Radhika mentioned earlier, this was about microfinance, but financial inclusion, we all understood, is way beyond just microfinance, and therefore now we have awards for fintechs, which are facilitating financial inclusion either on the credit side or on the liability side or on the transaction side. So from fintechs to NBFCs to banks that do a great job in priority sector to self-help groups that help women. Women is very clearly an important part of financial inclusion. There is financial inclusion overall, but it is again an established fact that as women get access to finance, the household, the village, the community starts doing much better. So I think all of these point to the fact that we are on to something special. My request to all of you is to please pay attention when we list out the reasons why a particular entity or a particular individual or a particular business won the awards. We have spent a lot of time trying to get the right entity or the right individual to win the award. At a broader level, I think we've seen microfinance really come of age, and therefore, because this was originally a microfinance award, we have seen the total outstanding itself crossed 300,000 crores. The number of people benefited directly hugely in terms of millions of people, many self-help groups, many groups that only are like women-led group, etc. So HSBC itself has a fairly substantial portfolio of lending to microfinance companies. This is an area which is, we find, commercially sensible and one of the more satisfying activities that we do. And I hope that as our teams have interacted with many of you, there'll be greater opportunity for us to work together. This is an area we are very proud to be associated with the Access people. Vipin himself, I think he's done a fantastic job. Please, let's give him a round of applause, please. And yes, thank you once again. And I hope the discussions earlier in the day and the discussions tomorrow allow all of us to do our own little bit to make the process and the subject of financial inclusion come alive on a day-to-day basis. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dave, for setting the tenor for the awards presentation ceremony. We'll now begin the felicitation of our winners. Since the Microfinance Organization of the Year is the oldest category for the Inclusive Finance India Awards, it may be appropriate to begin the awards presentation with this category of institutions that has beaten the odds and overcome challenges and has continued to exist and serve the last mile clients in a viable and sustainable manner. This year, the Microfinance Organization of the Year category is subdivided into two categories: large with a portfolio of above INR 1,000 crores and medium portfolio of INR 200 to 1,000 crores. Announcing the winner of the award for the Microfinance Organization of the Year, Large, the winner is, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Fusion Microfinance Limited. Many congratulations. I request Mr. Devesh Sachdev, MD and CEO, and Tarun Mehendirata, COO, to kindly come up on stage and accept the award, please. Fusion Microfinance, ladies and gentlemen, is India's second largest NBFC MFI and the youngest among the top 3 pure play microfinance institutions in India. Starting its operations in 2010, Fusion Microfinance has touched the lives of over 3.2 million women in rural and semi-urban areas. Today, Fusion has a strong, diversified network of more than 1,031 branches spread across 19 states, including 2 union territories, and assets under management of more than INR 8,000 crores as on 30th September 2022. I request Mr. Nageshwaran to present the plaque to Mr. Devesh Sachdev and Mr. Dave to kindly hand over the certificate and the citation. Congratulations, Mr. Sachdev, for a very well-deserved recognition. I invite you to kindly give your brief acceptance speech. We're requesting all the award winners to kindly give brief acceptance speeches due to paucity of time. Over to you, sir.
Good evening. I think this award is a icing on the cake after what we have achieved in this financial year, getting listed in one of the toughest, most challenging, uncertain, market conditions. I would like to dedicate this award to our very key stakeholders. One is our customers. We have now 3.2 million customers who have shown huge resilience in midst of one of the biggest crises the humankind has seen. and the way they have come back. And my second stakeholder is all my front-end, warriors, field officers, branch managers who have shown huge commitment and courage in midst of all this crisis and continue to serve them. I would like to thank all our shareholders, our lenders, our partners, rating agencies, everyone who is involved. And last but not the least, many thank you to Access Development Services, a very, very esteemed jury, and the chief guest here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your wonderful, brief, and short and sweet acceptance speech. Announcing the winner of the award for Microfinance Organization of the Year 2022 Medium. The winner is Sindhuja Microcredit Private Limited. Many congratulations. I request Abhishek Kumar, co-founder and managing director, and Malkit Singh Didalia, co-founder and CEO, to kindly come up on stage to accept the award. Sindhuja Microcredit Private Limited operates in states of Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh, with a focus on providing financial services to women entrepreneurs who have the skills but lack capital. The company's mission is to make financial services easily available to financially excluded and MSME entrepreneurs through efficient, customer-friendly, and technology-driven solutions. Mr. Nageshwaran has already presented the plaque to Mr. Kumar and Mr. Didalia. Congratulations, Mr. Kumar, for a very well-deserved recognition. I invite you to kindly make a brief acceptance speech.
So deeply humbled, because Sindhuja was started during the time when the ILFS crisis was at its peak. And in the last 4.5 years after ILFS, there was COVID-1 and COVID-2. But in spite of that, and we have from zero from that time to till today, we have reached 650 crores with an impeccable portfolio quality. And I think so we are very, very humbled and very thankful to all the stakeholders, especially the banks, the NBFCs and other players who supported us, especially for a young organization with a very small vintage and a very small asset size. So when today we have around 40 lenders, so that speaks volume about the confidence they have reposed in Sindhuja. And we are also, and this award is also very, very special because this has been conferred by eminent jurists. So means you name one and they're all very, very honored and expert in their own field. So this makes this award more special. So we are again thankful to all the people who reposed faith in us. And we promise next time we will come in the larger category to take this award. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kumar, for your acceptance speech. Now, the third award of this evening, Vijay Lakshmi Das Award for Small and Emerging Microfinance Organization, hosted in partnership with FWWB. This category, ladies and gentlemen, was introduced in 2022 to pay homage to Vijay Ma'am's vision of supporting emerging institutions with the ethos of client centricity and inclusion of the last mile. The award in this category, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Grameen Shakti Microfinance Services Private Limited. Many congratulations to the Grameen Shakti team on this important recognition. May I request Ganesh Chandra Modak Managing Director, and Ms. Shukriti Mukhopadhyay, Executive Director, to kindly come up on stage to receive the felicitation, please. Grameen Shakti Microfinance Services Private Limited was founded in 2005 with the goal of providing financial and other support services to the economically disadvantaged women living in the underdeserved areas, with a focus on helping them overcome poverty and become self-sufficient. Mr. Nageshwaran is presenting the plaque to Mr. Modak, and may I request Mr. Dave to present the certificate to Ms. Mukhopadhyay, please. Congratulations, Mr. Modak, for a very well-deserved recognition. I now invite you to make a brief acceptance speech.
Good evening, everybody. Actually, this is the recognition of our client. Firstly, I want to say, those who have paid their installment payment during COVID, in a tremendous period we overcome, that time they have paid, and we also paid our contingency in timely. And our staff, those who have worked the tremendous job that time, because during COVID time, everybody in home. But our staff also that time given some masks and sanitizer, even some awareness to the client. Don't fear, please come out and repay as per your ability. So that time we also given some loan to the clients, and particularly FWWB, that time supported a lot. And we are thankful to FWWB, and this award I would like to contribute and offer Ma'am Vijay Lakshmi Das, and she is our mentor. She was our mentor, and till we will remember him or remember her till my death. Thank you very much. Thank you to audience.
Thank you very much, Mr. Modak, for a very sweet and short acceptance speech. Now, the third award of this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is the Technology Innovation for Financial Inclusion. This and the first award in this category goes to Avanti Finance. Many congratulations to the Avanti team on this important recognition. May I request Mr. Rahul Gupta, CEO, and Mr. Manish Thakkar, COO, to kindly come on stage and receive the recognition, please. Avanti has built a co-creation platform that fosters hyperlocal livelihood innovation and mass customization. Avanti's platform approach helps to diversify quickly. In a short span, Avanti today is present in 22 states and 1/3 of India's districts without a single physical branch, leveraging the power of local communities and regional institutions. I request the chief guest to kindly present the plaque to Mr. Gupta and Mr. Dave to kindly hand over the citation to Mr. Thakkar, please. Congratulations, Team Avanti, for a very well-deserved recognition. I invite you now to kindly give a brief acceptance speech.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you to the very eminent jury for recognizing our efforts in accelerating financial inclusion. Avanti is a bold experiment indeed in trying to create a digital delivery model for the base of the pyramid customers based on operating principles of being paperless, presenceless, and cashless. So we certainly dedicate this award to our borrowers, our end users, our clients, who have shown that adoption of technology, even at that segment, is possible and encourages us to continue on that path to build a scalable platform. Thanks to the early believers in what we were doing, our founders, investors, banks, and what we've heard through the day today is that we are today in an era of collaboration and partnerships. So we continue to look forward to building a strong ecosystem, amplification of the partnership network, be it with banks to facilitate last mile credit to the end users, or with other institutes to reach our end borrowers and build fit for purpose products for them. Thank you very much. It encourages us to work even harder.
Thank you very much for your acceptance speech. The next award of this evening is for Housing Finance Company Lending for Affordable Housing. This category was introduced to recognize the commitment of housing finance companies to the development of the undeserved communities by helping them access safe and improved homes. And the award in this category, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together, goes to Vastu Housing Finance Company. Congratulations to Vastu Housing Finance Company. I request Mr. Sandeep Menon, Managing Director and CEO, and Mr. Sujay Patil, Head of Strategy, to kindly come up on stage to receive the felicitation, please. Vastu Housing Finance. Vastu is a consumer financial services provider founded in 2015 with a mission to deliver easier, simpler, faster, and affordable credit solutions to the low-income emerging middle class. And they do that in citizens in semi-urban and rural parts of India. Vastu focuses on enabling women ownership of homes and businesses by providing affordable and faster loans. Mr. Nageshwaran has already presented the plaque to Mr. Sandeep, and Mr. Dave has presented the citation to Mr. Patil. Congratulations to the Vastu team for this very well-deserved recognition. And I invite Mr. Menon for a brief acceptance speech, please.
Good evening, everyone. It's an absolute honor and deep respect for the Access team, to the jury, and most importantly, I guess this award goes to all our frontline team members, the entire Vastu team, all the effort that they have put in over the last 6 years. We were a company that was been born in difficult times. We have 50 crores of portfolio, very small, very young when we were hit by demonetization. And I guess every year after that, we've had an economic event which could be a 1 in 7 or a 1 in 20. But I guess the resilience of our team, the support of, I would say, our shareholders, our board members, the banking system in general, we're very fortunate to have early lenders who continue to back us, and the rating agencies and the general ecosystem. And affordable housing, I truly believe, is a multi-decadal opportunity and an equal responsibility. Because if you look at India beyond the top 10 cities to the next 40 cities, forget the cities, the next 200 or the 300, where the urban and the rural divide blurs, there is significant opportunity and a great responsibility for us as an organization to play a part, but more importantly, as an ecosystem, to work on this to make sure that this is a genuine long-term development opportunity for this country. And Vastu is privileged and our teams are privileged to have played a very small part in it. And we hope to continue to work harder to deliver on our promises, to deliver simple, fast, and transparent, affordable housing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Menon, for your brief acceptance speech. The sixth award for the evening is for the non-banking finance company, NBFC Lending to Micro and Small Enterprises. And the award, ladies and gentlemen, Please put your hands together for Veritas Financial Services. I invite Mr. D. Arulmane, Managing Director and CEO, and Mr. V.G. Suchindran, Executive Director and CFO, to kindly come up on stage and receive the award. Veritas Finance Private Limited, founded in 2015 by Mr. D. Arulmane, aims to ensure a formal and affordable credit access to the undeserved rural and semi-urban MSME segment customers running small and micro enterprises. Mr. Nageshwaran, kindly present the plaque to Mr. Alumani and Mr. Dave to hand over the citation to Mr. Suchindran. Congratulations to the team for a very well-deserved recognition. I invite Mr. D. Arulmani for a brief acceptance speech, please.
Good evening, everyone. This is indeed a great honor. As Mr. Dave was saying, we understand the importance attached to this award because we don't know any of the people present here, any of the people who actually gave us the award. We were sitting in some corner of Tamil Nadu, started the company about 7 years back, built over 7 years from zero to a 3,000 crore company, just went on doing our job, and somewhere someone recognizing us is actually makes us believe that we have a lot more to do. At this point of time, I dedicate this award to 4,000 employees we have and the senior team that joined me along with when we incorporated the company, the board of directors, the investors, and more importantly, the customers who have stood by us, whether it is demonetization or whether it is liquidity crisis or whether it is COVID. I think we have just grown with their strengths. I thank every single of our customers. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much for your acceptance speech. The next award, ladies and gentlemen, for the evening is to recognize and felicitate the contribution of financial institutions in supporting the drive for universal access to sanitation and safe drinking water in partnership with water.org. The award under this category goes to Credit Access Grameen. Let's give them a round of applause. I invite Mr. Uday Kumar Hebbar, CEO and Managing Director, to please come on stage to receive the award. Credit Access Grameen Limited, CA Grameen, is now the largest microfinance institution in the country, with a portfolio size of over INR 16,500 crores as of September 2022. I request the chief guest to do the honors, please. Congratulations to the team for a very well-deserved recognition. And I now invite Mr. Uday Kumar for a brief acceptance speech.
Thank you. Thank you, Executive Development Services. It's an honor to us. We realized the need of the customer a decade before, in almost 2010-11, we started working with water.org to create these wash products. And probably we started working to support and to create awareness around the whole community, not just with the customers, customers, their families, the villagers, the masons, the panchayats, and the whole villages. We try to address them. I think in the process, we also synchronized our entire operation and then made it commercially sustainable. And over a period of time, we were able to provide this product with much cheaper than our normal trade products. So at a point of time, we are charging 4% less charges for wash products. Even today, we price 1% less than the normal microfinance product for wash products. In this process of last 10 years, 14 lakh of our borrowers have built toilets. 12 lakh of our borrowers built houses and improved their houses, and 4 lakh of our borrowers connect to their waters. Thanks to water.org supports and all our frontline officers who have made it possible. And definitely, this one important social relevant activity of ours, and we continue to do it. And definitely, we take this award as our recognition for doing this work, and continue to do this will continue to motivate us to do much more in this space. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Uday Kumar, for your brief acceptance speech. The next award, ladies and gentlemen, for the evening is for the Small Finance Bank for achieving financial inclusion. The award under the category goes to ISAF Small Finance Bank. Let's give them a round of applause. I invite the ISAF team to kindly come up on stage to receive the award. Founded by Sri K. Paul Thomas, the ISAF Group of Social Enterprises has been fighting for economic equality for over 3 decades. The bank's financial literacy and credit providing initiatives has played a crucial role in boosting the entrepreneurial spirit of rural masses. With branches spread over 23 states in India, ISAF SFB is now providing assistance to 6 lakh women through the host of products and services. I request our chief guest to do the honors, please. And we'd like to congratulate the team for a very well-deserved recognition. I invite you to the dais, please, to the podium for a brief acceptance speech.
First of all, let me thank Access and HSBC for instituting an award for small finance banks. We received the MFI of the Year award just before starting the small finance bank in 2016. And I'm very happy that this is a great validation. This award is a great validation that ISAF Bank, Small Finance Bank, is continuing with the inclusion agenda. So thank you very much. Thank you, jury, for selecting us. And I'm very happy that even after becoming a commercial bank, we are continuing. 79% of our assets today is in microfinance, and all other sectors are also focusing on inclusion. 70% of ISAF Bank's branches are in rural and semi-urban areas. On a regulatory perspective, we need to maintain 25% of unbanked rural branches, but we maintain 34% unbanked rural branches. This all is because of the inclusion agenda in our mind. So I dedicate this award to our field team and our customers and our investors who have been great support in our journey. Thank you once again to the jury and to the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a short acceptance speech. The next award, ladies and gentlemen, for the evening is for the priority sector lending by a public sector bank, and the award goes to Canara Bank. And unfortunately, we are not joined today by any member of Canara Bank, but I'll just say a few words about him. Canara Bank has touched the lives of 11.83 crore customers through a network of 10,495 branches and 13,023 ATMs spread across all Indian states and union territories. Canara Bank has been pioneering the SHG lending with over 18,000 customers and a portfolio of 589 crores. The concerted efforts of Canara Bank has made it possible to mark its footprint in the rural citizens as well. So unfortunately, since we're not joined by them, we move to the next award for the evening, which is for priority sector lending by a private sector bank. And the award, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Axis Bank. I'd like to request Mr. Krishna Das Nair, Business Head, Microfinance, to kindly come up on stage and accept the award on behalf of Axis Bank. Axis Bank is the third largest private sector bank in India, having begun operations in 1994. The bank offers a wide range of financial services to customers, including large and mid corporates, MSMEs, agriculture, and retail businesses. With a large footprints of 4,758 domestic branches and 10,990 ATMs, the bank is well positioned to serve diverse customers across the country. I request Mr. Nageshwaran to present the plaque to Axis Bank team and Mr. Dave to kindly hand over the citations and the certificate. Congratulations to the team for a very well-deserved recognition. I now invite you for a brief acceptance speech, please.
Firstly, big thank you. It's a pleasure and honor to be on this dais and receive this award. So thank you so much, Axis and the esteemed jury. As Axis Bank, we are committed to drive financial inclusion, PSL, and serve the Bharat banking customers at large. We're backed with the 3 vector strategies that we've been following on growth, profitability, and sustainability. I think this is an important step for us, and recognizing this at such an esteemed audience is a great pleasure. I dedicate this award to our customers, microfinance customers. It's a large set of customers that we serve through our Axis Bank Foundation, and overall at Axis Bank as a group. We've been trying to work on various products and solutions to cater to the segment. And right from the grassroots levels, we've worked on some models, so through retail as well as through wholesale route. And this is acknowledgement of those efforts. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your acceptance speech. Next, ladies and gentlemen, is the award for contribution to advancing financial inclusion in India by an enabling institution. And the award, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the winner, Jivika. To receive the award, I invite Mr. Manish, State Program Manager, Microfinance, onto the stage, please. Jivika is India's largest state-level women's socio-economic empowerment program, working directly with 1.27 crore families in rural Bihar. Jivika is one of the flagship programs for poverty alleviation of the government of Bihar. The program operates across 534 blocks and 38 districts of Bihar, promoting 10.42 lakh self-help groups. I request Mr. Nageshwaran to present the plaque to Mr. Manish, please. And congratulations to the entire team of Jivika, a very well-deserved recognition. And I invite you to kindly make your acceptance speech, please.
Thank you, Access team, for this award. This award I dedicate to, as ma'am already told, to our 1 crore 27 lakh members, 10 lakh 35 lakh SHGs. I also dedicate this award to our cadres who are working day and night for this mission. They means our cadres like community mobilizers, Bank Mitra, Bank Sakhis, CSP members, financial literacy CRPs, FLCRP repayment recovery, which we tell they are working for repayments. They complete the whole cycle of this credit inflow and repayment. I would also dedicate this award to government of government of Bihar, World Bank, and of course NRLM. Thank you, Access, again for this award. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a very brief acceptance speech. The next award for the day, ladies and gentlemen, is the Award for Contribution to Advancing Financial Inclusion in India by an individual. And before we ask for the presentation of this award, I have the privilege in inviting Mr. Vipin Sharma, CEO of Access Development Services, onto the stage, please. And the award is being conferred on Mr. Pamidi Kotaya. Mr. Dr. P. Kotaya has a diverse and rich experience spanning over 6 decades in banking, finance, regulatory architecture, management, economic development, and corporate governance. He began his career at the Reserve Bank of India in 1961 and later served as a managing director and chairman of National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, that's NABARD. He also has over 3 decades of board-level experience, including time on the Bank Chairman and Executive Director Selection Board. I invite Mr. Vipin Sharma to present him with a shawl, please. And I also request Mr. Nageshwaran to present the plaque to Dr. Kotaya sir. Congratulations to you, sir, for a very well-deserved recognition. And now it is my privilege in inviting you to kindly give your acceptance speech, please.
Distinguished guests and chief guests on the dais, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I think I cannot take more than 5 minutes perhaps, so I will be very brief. I have given this award for what India achieved as the largest microfinance in the world, the SHG Bank Linking Program. So though I, as an individual, receiving this award is dedicated to millions of women who have participated in this program, who made it a success, and thousands of facilitators who organized and promoted the groups. And one of my colleagues, Mr. Vipin himself, has participated in the promotion of these groups earlier. So to be brief, there is a misconception that India has copied Grameen Bank model and developed a SHG linkage program. No. Though there was a lot of discontentment at that time, it's late 80s, about the financial inclusion and reach arising out of gaps, inadequacies, products not structured, meeting the cash flows of the borrowers and small people. So there was a churning of thought in the Reserve Bank of India, NABARD, and government. So NABARD, as the institution responsible for developing rural financial services, devoted its mind, and it took nearly 3 years to develop this concept. It was not an overnight response to the problems that were emerging at that time. So briefly, you will all know who are participating today in microfinance. In the late 80s, microfinance plus was the buzzword in the microfinance industry. But SHG Bank Linking Program is not just a microfinance plus, it's a microfinance triple plus, if not quadruple plus. Why I'm telling you? It's not just finance. It's finance, it's empowerment, it's education, it's access to various services. So this is a unique model that has no parallel anywhere else in the world, and also largest one. So the credit goes to all the participants in the program. I think I can't take more than this time, but add just one experience of mine. I have seen this, it was happy to see me, all the institutions, different institutions. And when immediately after I became chairman of NABARD, there was the first Financial Sector Reforms Committee under the chairmanship of Mr. Late Narasimham. And the committee recommended removal of priority sector lending. And I think most of you know that IMF, World Bank, all were, critical of our targeted lending program. And so it was clear that the banks have to be taken to the higher level, not involved in the targeted lending. So when the recommendation came, at that time, Venkatramanana was the governor of RBI. He called me and one or two bank chairmen. I said, we oppose it. It cannot be done in India for various reasons, you know it. So it's not done. And then second reforms committee was there by 96. By that time, I was a member in the committee. So again, he proposed we should recommend removal of priority sector lending. So I strongly oppose it for various reasons, which you know, but as NABARD chairman, that's my responsibility to oppose it. So the then banking services secretary and others told me, you pursue this project. We got it removed. But while explaining to the chairman of the committee that logically what he says is right, the banking system should not have a targeted lending program. It should follow the market forces and allocation of resources. But we in India, market is distorted, economy is distorted, so we require it. So I said, that's why I said, context I'm telling, let thousands of rural and microfinance institutions emerge in the country, which will meet the requirements of entire rural India and micro sector, then yes, you are right to remove this priority sector lending. Not till then. So it is happening. That's what I'm saying. But it's happening. When you will reach that stage, I'm not sure. That is the direction for future. Really, we have to come to that stage where thousands of institutions in the country will meet the requirements without the support of the government with targeted lending. Then you succeed. So thanks, and I'm very happy that Access team is as passionately not only involved in the ground level programs, but instituted this annual summit, which is very important, which takes account of the status of the system, makes recommendations to the policy makers and stakeholders to go for a forward movement. So thank you and wish you all the success.
Can we give Kutaiya Sahib a standing ovation, please? And it's so appropriate that he is being... It is also so appropriate that he is being felicitated in this year when the SHG program is completing 3 decades, and it is under the chairmanship of Dr. Kutaiya that we started the SHG program while he was at NABARD.
What a wonderful award and what a beautiful acceptance speech. Thank you very much, Dr. Kotaiya. Coming up next is the jury special award, and the special award this year is being conferred upon Housing Development Finance Corporation for its groundbreaking contribution to the development of the affordable and inclusive housing finance sector in India. I request Mr. Conrad D'Souza, member of the Executive Management and Chief Investor Relations Officer, and Ms. Anjali Tarapore, Additional Senior General Manager, to please come up on stage and accept the award on HDFC's behalf. HDFC Limited was established in 1977 with the goal of promoting home ownership in India. Over the last 45 years, it has grown to become the leading housing finance company as well as a well-established financial conglomerate in India with 709 offices spanning across the country. I request Mr. Conrad D'Souza, Member of the Executive Management and Chief Investor Relations Officer, Ms. Anjali Tarapore, to kindly accept the award on HDFC's behalf. I request Mr. D'Souza to kindly say a few words as acceptance, please.
Good evening, everyone. 45 years back when HDFC was set up, it was a small startup with a vision and really without clarity of what could happen in this field. And I think 45 years later, it's very nice to be honored as a company for our contribution in the area of housing finance and the related stuff. I think as an organization, we have been always trying to reach out to more and more customers. Started many years back when we did financing for, tea plantation workers, for flood-affected victims. But those were small programs, those were more pilots. And then, of course, the big event was the setting up of the first Rural Housing Finance Corporation, Grow Finance. And thereafter, I think together with the government, we have worked on various programs like the credit link subsidy scheme, the whole affordable housing push of recent times. And I think this award is a recognition of what has been done. But I must also mention that there is so much more to be done. And during the course of today, I've sat in on a few sessions and realized that what we have done is just the tip of an iceberg. There's lots more that can be done in different areas. And it's really an area where we can not meet the requirements of the entire sector, but work together with so many organizations who are in this room to reach out to every nook and corner and provide finance in line with what the country requires. Thank you very much to the jury for identifying and recognizing us. I think it's an outstanding jury, as Mr. Deve mentioned, and thank you to Access Development for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful acceptance speech. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we sadly come to the end of the awards presentation. We're now keen to hear from our eminent chief guest of the evening. I have the privilege, ladies and gentlemen, in inviting our chief guest for this evening, Mr. Anantha Nageshwaran, Chief Economic Advisor, Government of India, to kindly come up to address the audience and give his wonderful keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And there is still time to wish you all a very happy and healthy 2023. I thank Access Finance as well as HSBC Bank for inviting me to this award function and giving me the honor of distributing the awards to the deserving winners. My congratulations to all of them. To be in a function like this is energizing in one way because most of them, as they said in their acceptance speeches, they started with in very modest ways, not knowing how the landscape would evolve. But what kept them going was their belief in the model and the cause that they had chosen to serve and their perseverance. Indeed, the very fact that the awards themselves have been running for 19 years is also a testimony to their perseverance in recognizing the importance of financial inclusion itself. So my congratulations to the Access team as well for persisting with these awards, because it is not only important to learn from failures, it's also important to learn from successes. And to be able to recognize success, reward them, and also re-energize them is a good thing in itself. The good news is that notwithstanding the success in growth that these organizations have achieved, there is still tremendous scope for growth because we are a large country. And in spite of the extremely impressive progress we have achieved in the last several years, there is still much to be done for financial inclusion of micro, small, and medium enterprises and also individuals. Although very recently, one of the skeptical voices in the international media did acknowledge the fact that Indian economy may be formalizing quite impressively. And much of the formalization that has happened in the last several years is also due to the financial inclusion efforts. Both, in fact, go together. As participants in the space of financial inclusion, you will be well aware that this government has invested a lot of efforts with respect to financial inclusion. Starting from the Prime Minister's Jan Dhan Yojana scheme, of which there are about nearly 48 crore beneficiaries in total. About 26.6 crores of them happen to be women beneficiaries of the Jan Dhan Yojana scheme. And there is close to 1.83 lakh crores of deposits in this Jan Dhan Yojana accounts. And that in turn has set the stage for other innovations in the fintech space to happen. So the success that was achieved in taking banking to the millions of unbanked was actually an inspiration for many people. That in turn has spawned many other innovations such as the Open Credit Enablement Network, the account aggregator. All of these things are basically making financing available to those who have been hitherto excluded from finance. In fact, Open Credit Enablement Network and account aggregator together, the goods and services tax, the digital infrastructure that has been set in place, if you take them all together, they are the building blocks of financialization of sectors that have been outside the purview of traditional finance. And they are also part of the formalization of the Indian economy, which means the more you come into the formal system, the more doors open for enterprises and individuals. So we are on a good path, and organizations such as these that won the awards today are actually paving that path for the country to move and progress with respect to inclusion as well as economic growth and efficiency and prosperity going forward. I will just end my remarks with one suggestion for your consideration. Financial inclusion, by and large, should not stop with only making available debt products to many of the beneficiaries. Debt indeed matters, and for the debt giver as well, there is a much lower risk than if it were to be other kinds of financing sources made available. But financial inclusion should lead to financial empowerment, and that empowerment comes when the beneficiaries of our inclusion programs also get equipped with skills and knowledge to thrive in their respective businesses. Just as today, the Open Credit Enablement Network allows many service providers to provide other services, including lending, the argument can be reversed. Lending providers can also provide other services, so you can call it Open Knowledge Enablement Network. So financial inclusion providers should probably create a variant of OKEN by really creating a OKEN, Open Knowledge Enablement Network, because ultimately the beneficiaries of your inclusion programs do need certain empowerment skills, whether it is with respect to human resource management, working capital management, or for that matter, simple bookkeeping, etc. So financial inclusion providers must think in terms of financial empowerment for their beneficiaries, whether they are individuals, in which case you can teach them the virtues of savings and thrift. If it is businesses, you can give them some basic skills for them to be able to grow their businesses. I'm sure that some of you are already on this job, and if so, my best wishes to you and all strength to your endeavors. I look forward to seeing great success and glory for all of you in taking India onto a path of both inclusion and growth, equity and efficiency. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for your most wonderful address. And that was a wonderful address, the keynote address, to mark the closure of the first day of this summit. On behalf of Access and HSBC, I place on record our gratitude to the key guests, Mr. Anantha Nageshwaran, Chief Economic Advisor, Government of India, and for taking this time out for joining the awards presentation this evening, for felicitating the award winners, and for this inspiring keynote address. May I request Mr. Vipin Sharma, CEO of Access, to kindly come up on stage and kindly felicitate Mr. Anant Nageshwaran with a shawl, please. And let's have a nice photograph, please. And I request all the award winners to kindly come up on stage for a group photograph. All the award winners are requested to kindly come up on stage for a group photograph with your trophies and your citations, please. Thank you. If you could kindly bring up your trophies, and I request our respected members of the press and media to decide how they want the standing to be done on stage.